Happy New Year! Did chores this morning. I'm gonna work on this bunk line project for some fat cattle we're gonna be feeding out. I need some supplies, so I'm not sure. And I need my dad's tractor, which he just headed off out of the yard to move some hay bales home. So we'll see what all I get done this morning. It's a little bit cold. It's been kind of a wet cold these last 2-3 days. It's like you go outside and you think you're wearing enough clothes, but it's get a little chilly. But it's a new year. We got some new projects coming our way.
Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the three Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video.
Closing up the door here, did some cutting of some thread, all thread, and then found the bolts to slide through so we can weld some pipe up against those concrete, I believe they're J bunks. We have mostly U-shaped bunks. These ones I would call J bunks. Anyways, I'll show you what I did. So I cut the pipe and then get it off of this long one. I bolt them up. The holes through the concrete were already there, but I drilled the holes through the 2.5 inch oil field pipe and then got some washers and everything. So those are ready to weld to. We'll put them up there where we're gonna weld. They aren't round bottom like the other ones, but putting the second one in there now. They're giving me hand motions. So we got these two set in there. This is the part that I did yesterday, was that bracing. Anyways, Nathan's gonna go and cut the pipe the right length to bring out here as the neck rail. And I'm gonna go hook this tractor up, put the pallet forks on, and lift the welder, bring it out here. All right, back in our portable welder setup out of here. What do you think it needs a sucker rod for? Oh, I just thought if we put a double, like that on that 4A one, it's pretty low. And we had the double.
Well, with it higher, a calf.
Okay, now we are pushing in T-posts. So you've seen us pound them in by hand before. This one we just push in from the top down with the loader tractor. So put in T-posts and we'll get the wire hot and we'll pretty much be ready for the fat cattle. So this pen's about ready for some animals in it. Came up here with one of our smaller energizers. It doesn't take much to get a lot of voltage to a fence that's only a couple 100 feet long. So I'm gonna put this smaller solar powered one on there, and then right before chores tonight, we'll bring the animals up. Then the hope is that they never touch it again because they learned their lesson the first time. Very thankful that the good Lord made cattle afraid of an electric pulse. Okay, down at the heifer lot, my dad's. We usually sort on Tuesdays at my house, Tuesday mornings. We're sorting on a Wednesday afternoon because just the way Nathan and I had different doctor's appointments and different things, places we needed to be. The weather is gonna turn kind of nasty on Friday and we have Thursday, just the way it worked out. Here we are. I'm getting the sorting facility gates all put in the right places. We're gonna look at 3 pens today, my dad and I, and sort off about 64 heifers or so to haul to town. Okay, here's a pen of heifers. We'll play the guess the weight game. Dad thought they would weigh pretty heavy. I was saying 810, but now when I'm looking at them, I don't see a whole lot of them that weigh over 800. Wow, we came out here with 3 people thinking that this might take a little bit of work to get them out, but they're behaving themselves. Said Mom, the master cattle mover. Let's hope they stay that calm the whole time we move them. Okay, next pin. This is pin 7, and we'll run them up. They do look a little bit bigger than the pin 8. I think they were taken from the same sort. Dad says they were eating a little bit more in pin 7 than pin 8. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Those are the middle, the medium ones for now. I don't think we're gonna need to sell, but we might need to add a few more of those back on. They're going in a small holding pen for now, till we see if we need them. So we've now sorted 2 out of the 3 pins, but I don't think we're 66% done sorting yet, because we'll have to sort a little bit at the end to get the right amount. Okay, off they go into the holding pen. Okay, over there by the truck is where these ones will run out. We're just kind of looking at these, setting up the amount for the next load. That'll come in a couple weeks. There's one limping, we'll have to take a look at. Okay, I sorted about half of them, and I needed this space, have some of them standing, but that's the real sorting alley out there, so running them out now. Hey, get out of here, hey. Okay, we know this pen is done. That's exactly half a pot load going back to this pen. So I'm gonna lock them up, and then we'll sort out the medium ones. We have 46 for sure big ones. Now we've got to finish the last part of the pot load. So I had to move the pickup in order to, instead of running them into pin 2 through this gate, small ones we're putting up this alley, putting them in pin 1, which we haven't been using yet. But there's 34 head we're gonna put over there. Does anybody else use a pickup or a trailer as a partial gate when moving cattle around their place? Let me know in the comments. Okay, that's 21 to add to the 41 we already got. So we're gonna put those in the to sell pin. This whole little group, they're gonna go to pin 2, and they'll be the next sort up. Either last sell of January or beginning of February. You don't wanna drop your phone in this. It's deeper a few places. They look better than they did a little while ago. The sun is helping dry them out. Okay, after some sorting, we sorted these 7 off. I actually had these sorted off already once, but we didn't have a pin to put them in. We didn't have the pin built yet. So we put them back into the big pen. Then today we took them off. So there's the 7 that are gonna be butcher cattle. They were a little bit bigger than the rest of these ones in this pen. And what we think will make really good meat for some customers. So doing a little bit more, he's got the pickup and a feed wagon up there as kind of a wing to get these cattle to walk the right place. So I also tried not to take any cattle that were acting a little bit high strung so that they won't bother while we're moving them around. And cattle become a little bit more gentle as you fed them longer, and they get a little bit heavier and slower. So these ones will be pretty calm when they're used to being bucket fed now. That was one that I sorted off because he was a little high strung. He was just as big as these, and he fit my description, but it was a little high strung. So these are the 7 that made the cut. One of them's got an earlier butcher appointment than the others. That's already been growing for a while, but we just didn't want to put him in a pen by himself. He already weighs over 1,000. Now we're using vehicles for a wing again. Put them right in this pen. It'll be freshly built pen. Feet up front, water in the back. The dustiness from the hay is making this thing look majestic. And the sunlight here peeking through.
All right, so it's time to move these cows again. They cleaned up everything that was on that other field. So with this, that was their second field. Now we're moving them to their third field, and we're probably going to have to start feeding them there because there's not as much to graze. So it's only the beginning of January, and we're gonna have to feed them until the grass greens up. But that's okay, we have plenty of feed. Right now we are herding the cows and calves back across the first field they were on. This was the first field, and then that second field was across the road there. So taking them from their second field to their third field, we're gonna cross back over the first field. That's the advantage of having all the fields in this area here. It's a balmy 21 degrees this morning. A little fog, a little frost on the ground.
There's the bulls fighting in the back of the bunch. Hey! Usually don't see them doing this too much when they're out in the open. The feed truck's way up there. The cows kind of turned on us before Dad and I got here to bring up the rear.
All right, we made it through that tree line back there and into the next field. And now Nathan will feed them. And while they're eating, we're gonna set up the fence. We've got the wire. I don't know if you can see the wire. The wire's put down, but we got to put all the posts up while they're eating. So all 4 of us are gonna work on that.
So this new place we're gonna put them has got running water. It's running even more than the last time I looked at it when I was planning to use this as a water source. Got the wire attached here. I'm gonna run a poly through these trees. That's gonna be how we fence in this water to the Milo stocks out there. Have you been needing a hammer or not?
No. All right, we're working on fencing here. The cows are still eating. We're gonna cut across through this creek.
It's kind of a stream, but it's running, so it shouldn't freeze. So we had the cows watering off of this stream in 2019 winter, which was a really wet winter. We're gonna water them off of here again. It's a good thing we got that running water stream because this pond is pretty low. It's one of 3 ponds. I believe one of the 3 ponds in this pasture is empty, and the one is a little bigger than this one. But that's the easiest one for the ones on those Milo stocks to reach. And I'm glad we don't have to let them in this pasture. It saves this grass all that wear and tear. So I'm just going around making sure there's no entrances to this pasture open. This is one gate that, you know, they can, if for some reason it was open, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't. But the rest of the pasture fence looks intact, and like they won't be able to go in there. Ooh, almost lost a glove. Saved it. So this pasture has trees for windbreak on 3.5 sides. A lot of hedge balls there. On to the next Milo stock field, but this one they're not as happy at because there's no turnips or radishes grazing with green to pick at. But they pretty much picked the other one empty. All right, we're moving heifers. Pin 8A is going to become pin 7 and 8 down at my dad's because we're hauling pins 7 and 8 to the sale today. Hauling them later in the day because they have a big sale. So we're loading these ones on the trailer. Gonna haul them down to my dad's, empty the trailer, then load it up again. Hey heifer, look at me! I'm trying to reference our highway to sell parody, except these cattle are actually trying to be unloaded at my dad's, not to sell, but we're on our way to the sale barn. Come on, get out of here. There they go, they're figuring it out. Hey! 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 Nice heifers loading up here. Come on, heifers. Heifers. Can't go 2 at a time. It ain't that big. All right, going up, heifers. Hey! Hey, yep. This is a pretty high percentage black group. I think there's only 2 reds and there's no Charolais. I know we've got a lot of Charolais heifers on the place, but none of them made it into this sort, so hope you get a little bit of a premium there. Come on, heifers. Hey! My mom is going to help my dad put those, it's 1 load, but it's 2 pins away while I take off to the sale. Nathan was originally going to haul these, but we figured it would be better to just have him feed my load, and I'll haul these in. While unloading those last ones, I almost got peed on out the hole of one of these holes. Heifers, you got to worry about that. Steers, you don't. When you're walking right along next to the trailer like this. Well, even late in the day, there's 2 semis unloading and 2 semis loading out here at Farmers and Ranchers. My goal for that bunch would be for them to gross over 100,000, which would be 1580 per head would get them to 101,000. So that's always fun to see the check more than 100,000. It's pretty easy with steers recently, but with heifers, well, let's hope they eclipse that number. I don't know how much you can tell on the video, but it's pretty much fogging down snow now. Started right at 8 a.m. like they predicted. We had 1 pin that was going to be pretty full and muddy through this cold spell, so we took him out of that pin, put him out in this bigger pin that we vacated yesterday for those heifers we took down to my dad's. So this pin's got a better mound on it. It'll stay dry. That other pin is along that wall, and that shed over there doesn't have a huge mound to it. So this will stay a little drier for him. Got this north side windbreak a little bit, so. Well, it didn't snow all day, but it did snow during morning chores. Now during evening chores. Greg's feeding out on that hill. I'm helping my dad with a few little things. So we got cattle eating lined up at the bunks. We're trying not to have any of our bunk lines totally full so that the pens don't get trumped up as much. We're not at full capacity, but we're at pretty much at capacity for the conditions that we've got. We've got cattle spread around a lot of places, and we're prepared for the elements as much as we can be. There's only so much you can do for cattle when it's this wet weather. They do eat a little bit more, and so we're seeing consumption go up on all the pens. Here we go, feeding cattle I think we had a video in the past called Feeding Cattle in a Winter Wonderland. That's kind of what today's been, big flakes of snow all day.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.